Hi everyone, welcome to ThomTech Tutorials. I am Thomas and this is second session of Azure Data Factory Tutorial 1. So in this session I am going to cover components of Azure Data Factory and overall process flow. So as we know that when we are going to work on a new tool, we should be familiar with the features and components of the same. So with that, let's begin the tutorial. So first component will be the integration runtime, which is the base because it helps or it acts as an infrastructure which the ADF utilizes to perform all type of activities, whether it is like a executing or moving data or data flow or running an SSIS package. We need a infrastructure, so that is being provided by integration runtimes. So there are three types of integration runtimes based on our usages. First one is a default one which gets created by default when we create a Azure Data Factory, that is Azure Integration Runtime. It's also called as Integration Runtime. Then we have self-hosted IR, which is like created in order to connect on-premise locations from Azure. And then we have Azure SSIS IR. So this is like a VM running SSIS engine and helps us to execute SSIS packages. Yeah, so that's it about integration runtimes, and then let's move to the next one, that is linked services. So once we create integration runtimes, then now we have the capability to create linked services. So these linked services are like connection managers. If anybody already worked on other integration tools like SSIS, you should be familiar with the name like connection manager. So it is similar to the connection manager. Okay, so it is a connectivity to a particular source or destination, and in order to establish this connectivity we need to make sure that we have an appropriate integration runtime which we have to select when we are creating this linked services. Let's suppose our linked service is a source and that resides on an on-premise system. So in that case, when we create a linked services on that source, there is an option where we have that capability to toggle between different available integration runtimes. So we will go ahead and create, or we will select the self-hosted integration runtime that we have created for that specific on-premise environment. So that's it about linked services. And then we have dataset. So dataset is something that is directly related to a data structure. That means in a location we might have different types of files. It can be like transaction file, it can be like a bill hold file, it can be like real estate files. Different files would be there. So when we provide a connectivity to that pool of data and try to access a type of file through the metadata or through the structure of the data, so that's what we call as data set. And then we have pipelines. So pipeline is something that can be compared or that can be related to a package in SSIS. So it's like a logical grouping of all the activities to carry out a common task. Okay, then we have triggers. So trigger is something that can be compared to SQL agent jobs. That means if you want to schedule a pipeline so that it can execute like on a timely basis, on a periodical basis, based on any activity, so we can use triggers. So there are 3 to 4 types of triggers. One is like schedule trigger, one is like Windows tumbling trigger, then we have event based trigger, and then we have storage related trigger. So that is like newly added. And then we have parameters. So this parameter help us to pass the values during the runtime, and also helps us to pass the values from master pipeline to the child pipelines. So that's all about components of Azure Data Factory. Now let's move to the next slide for the same session. High level process flow of ADF ETL. Okay, so basically like we should understand what is the concept of ETL. ETL means extract, transform and load. So extract means like we will connect to a source It can be like one source, it can be multiple sources, it can be a source within a public network, or it can be in a private network. So if it's a public network, we can use integration runtime. If it is a private network, we should have a self-hosted integration runtime to that particular on-premise network. So we will be creating different connections and gathering data from the Azure data pipeline using different activities and connectors, and also to provide some information on the ADF connectors. We have 85 plus connectors which helps us to connect to different sources. Then we have transformation. So we will be applying business rules and transformations on the abstracted file. So this can be achieved using Azure data flows. It can be used through like Synapse notebooks, Databricks notebooks, or SD Insights. Then we have load. So loading it into a destination, it can be Azure SQL warehouse, it can be Synapse warehouse, or it can be an on-premise location. Then we have option to monitor the executions that is happening in Azure Data Factory. So we have an option for Azure Monitor, which will provide us the entire statistics with respect to each execution that is happening. So that's also like a wonderful feature. In addition to that, we do have log analytics as one of another resource that we can utilize to see what is happening in our ADF executions. It helps us to like flag different errors, alerts. So it's like a good application or a resource that we have with Azure. So that's all about high level process flow and the components of Azure Data Factory. So guys, so this is the end of session 2. So I would request everybody to like and subscribe my channel if you really enjoyed it, and in coming days we are going to cover different modules, and definitely I believe these will be very important to you guys. And also, based on your like and subscription that you do on my channel, it will motivate me to make a lot of videos after a lot of research. So definitely please do like and subscribe my channel. So that's it. Thank you. Have a great day ahead.